outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets.
On the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin J, got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin J, got what you need. Vitamin J, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin J. already know how I'm coming, man. Tryna run the town. Tell no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see they start crumbling now. Mind struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they look how it freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just a formal warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Let me go with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
That statement. What? No mic? What? No mic? Oh shit.
We got FC running the show today.
Yeah, FC running the show, like all the way down there with no kneecaps. Alright, anyway, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dante Crisis, back with your weekly dose of vitamin G, and with me is the Power Rangers, the Power Rangers of the gaming community. First of all, we've got the Black Ranger, Mr. Jubei Sensei. What you up to, my guy?
I've been playing a bunch of Diablo over the weekend. It was the highlight of my weekend. Yeah, I also am gonna do a stream of Resident Evil 4. Forgot how not scary that game is. So
He's gonna change that tune.
No, it's not scary. Resident Evil 4 is not scary.
Resident Evil 4 remake is kind of scary, actually, given some of the changes they made.
Not scary.
What do you like? What is it that you don't like again?
Horror games.
Oh yeah, there's like there's spiders all over the place in Resident Evil 4 the remake.
There's
So
spiders all over the place in Diablo. I was conquering some fears this weekend.
Oh, you can conquer spirit with spiders. Okay.
Alright, so you might have been playing.
Next thing you know, Nabby's gonna have like a background of like spiders walking all over him for the next episode.
Don't tempt me.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea.
Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. I will do it. I'll do it.
Do it.
I'll do it just to get him. Alright, next. Black Ranger number 2, Mr. Graham Colby. What have you been up to, my guy?
What's going on, everybody? It is finally nice to be back. I was really sick. I think I wasn't really sick, but I had a horrible sounding voice. I mean, it was crackly. It was all over the place. So I knew I couldn't talk last week, even though I felt pretty good. But yeah, things have been good. I forgot what to say. Oh, I finished Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
Nice.
And it's a very fun game. It is not the best Team Ninja game I've ever played, but the biggest highlights are I love the scope of the levels, and when you are dealing with China, like Dynasty Warriors China, and then adding in evil magic and twisted enemies and like levels that like scaffold all the way up into the sky. Love it. When we're talking about combat and how they have this risk reward system with finding counters and how smoothly your character slides off of a blade attack, it's addicting. I almost go to enemies looking to get that perfect evade slash counter or parry. That's amazing. The things I don't like is the story. I literally pick up my phone. Like they start talking. I'm like, I don't know. I've just sat through. I'm playing 6 RPGs in the last 4 months, and all of those different stories have hooked me. As soon as Wolong start talking, I just don't care. And then the other thing is the attack strings in Wolong are way more simple than they were in Neo. There are no stances, and really you could just kind of unlimitedly spam a regular attack if you switch weapons. So you could basically do square, 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 switch weapon, square, 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 and it just goes on forever. Now, of course, you can be interrupted because it's not a heart attack, but it's really kind of boring, especially when you find that weapons with low frame times are your best bet because offense is not very thorough in this game. So it's not without flaws, but I did have a really good time, and there are some badass bosses, man. This is one lightning boss. I just thought he was so cool. So yeah, shout out to Team Ninja. You know, it was really fun, but not as good as Neo 2.
All right, cool. By the way, I apologize. You're not Black Ranger 2. You're a Kuro Ranger.
So Kuro Senshi. Right?
Kuro Senshi. Which, if you ask Google Translate, they just even though it says something completely different, it's just pronounced Black Ranger.
Or Black. You can Kuro Sentai.
Kuro Sentai. There you go. Your Kuro
Yeah.
Sentai. There you go. All right. Next is Noir Ranger. Mr. Farrah Bazaar, how are you today, my man?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a pretty busy weekend. Got a little bit of Hi-Fi Russian. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
Really, you got nothing.
I've been reading a lot of the new Final Fantasy VII novel, Trace the Two Paths.
How's that?
So, it's pretty good. I am right up into the portion where
You might as well spoil it.
Sephiroth. I'm right up to the point where Sephiroth gets to Nibelheim. He hasn't appeared in the book yet, but it's right before. It's right when they first get to Nibelheim. That's where I stopped at. No real spoilers in the book. It just kind of to this point, it kind of dives into Tifa's relationship with Zangan, her master. That's a big portion of it. They dive deep into the fact that Cloud and like Tifa love each other within like the first like 20 pages of the book, and then he leaves. And then she's just kind of discovering herself, up until the Nibelheim incident. Basically what it's been. At the point that I'm at in the story is the first part where Cloud's mother appears in the story. And basically she just discovered through Tifa that Cloud left to join Soldier. His mom didn't even know that he went to join Soldier. He only told Tifa before he left. And like his mom was like kind of like she was a little bit perturbed by it seems. Like she was like a little bit upset by it, and like she like kind of realized that Tifa was special to Cloud because he only told her about it. And then it kind of got interrupted, and that's kind of where I like literally last dropped off at.
Cool. All right, cool. I was gonna go with the Spanish pronunciation for Nappy, but yeah, that won't be a good look for me. So Nappy, give us your intro. Hey, guess what?
You're muted.
It helps with when you're unmuted.
Oh shit! Thank you for that. How's it going, everyone? This is your friendly neighborhood ninja raised in the city, hidden in the hood, Nappy Senshi. I have been sick last week. I don't have COVID, thank God, but I've apparently just had a regular cold, so my voice may sound a little funny, may not be talking as much because I'll be losing breath. Still, again, not COVID, just a regular cold. As far as games I've been playing, I while I was eating my chicken noodle soup and drinking my tea, my girl, she came over and we played more of the notary games. We so far gotten 4 of the endings. We
Nice.
have learned, huh?
Nice.
Oh yeah, we got 4 of the endings. I have learned that about some other terrorist organization that try to plant bombs. Also have learned that I'm on the fucking moon. Also learned that they could time travel. And they're now my character's starting to become aware of the ability to to transfer his consciousness from one timeline to another. And it's a craziness thing going on. But it's actually a really good story. Again, like I said, if you want to play an escape room game, but don't feel like going to the actual escape room, the Notary games on Steam for about like $10-15. You get the 999 series and the Last Virtues, which is really good. Other than that, also I got sent a controller to review, which is an interesting one by the company 8-Bit Dough. I got this pink Xbox Ultimate wire controller. So yeah, I guess I gotta do a review on it now since I got it. So that's coming. And also I have an accessory coming for my Thrustmaster that I'm also waiting to review as well.
You sound so dejected. I got a controller to review. Damn it.
I mean, I'm starting to get so many controllers, and it's a wired controller. Even though it works on PC, it also works on Xbox. But it's just like, I don't really need this. But honestly, I think this might still be a good value for what you're getting. So,
all right, fair enough. And now it's me, the Alpha 5 of the group. What have I been up to? Been playing some multiplayer games, because I'm still waiting, because update, they finally came and pulled the wire. The wire has been replaced.
The fiber?
The fiber wire has been replaced.
Oh,
outside.
Good. So do you have better at it?
Outside. Now we gotta book someone to come and do the inside, as in the one that goes to the hub and the one that goes into, on the house. They only did the one that was underground yesterday. So we gotta call them today to order a installer to come and do the rest, because the plan is to also move the hub into my office, so that there should be no problems. The saga fucking continues, and I'm losing my sanity. I said it on Twitter, I said it on my Discord, I will say it here. Has anybody got a Master Ball? Because I'm in serious need of catching a break. Zero would have appreciated that. But other than... thank you for the pity chuckle, I appreciate it. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I've been playing mainly multiplayer games right now. Been playing some Sea of Thieves. That's been a lot of fun. Last server we were in, was just nothing but PvP. We had 3 brigs coming after us constantly until we teamed up with another galleon, and then just nobody screwed with us. Because ain't nobody screwing with 2 galleons. Played Modern Warfare, finished the Battle Pass for that, played some Warzone, even went back and played some GTFO, which, god damn, I forgot how good GTFO is.
Oh, I really want to get into that game, man. I bought it in early access, so I have it.
You have it on Steam, dude. You need to come by some of my streams.
I have it too, actually. I haven't played it in a long time.
Y'all need to
really
come
fun.
by. Yeah, y'all need to come by my streams. We can play it together, and I will show you just how much of a shit show it can become. Because my god, that game is amazing, but it really does go by the audit. Work together or die together, because that's the damn truth with that game. My only problem with this game, and I feel like it's something they could do, because I'm sure it's out on console as well, it needs crossplay. It needs crossplay real bad. Also been playing some Phasmophobia, so I can't wait for the next update. Oh, I can't wait for the next update, because they're just prolonging the inevitable, because with the next update, they're updating the progression system. Unfortunately, that includes wiping everybody's progression, including money and levels. and I just want them to do it already, like a band-aid. Just rip that shit off already, please. Other than that, played some Metal Slug 7. Finished South Park: The Fractured But Whole, which is chef's kiss amazing, and also started playing Resident Evil 4 remake. Again. Is it weird? Is it weird now that we've had two remakes of classic horror games this year that we've now got to like seriously underline by saying like Resident Evil 4 2023 or Dead Space 2023? I understand they're remakes, but my god, this is why historians of the future hate us so much.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had an interesting week. Anybody got anything they want to just throw into the ether to talk about before we begin the topics?
I forgot to tell you guys. This Wednesday will be the last day of my 20s.
Hey.
Thursday, I officially will be stepping into the 30s realm.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's it.
Congratulations.
Becoming old.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, and one last thing I'll throw. Octopath Traveler 2 is great. I meant to say that. I'll talk more about it next week, though.
Yeah. By the way, actually, speaking of Octopath Traveler, remember when we were talking about the Square Enix approach? So we were talking about Square Enix and like the problems they're having with their games, especially sales. And I mentioned like the problem. One of the biggest problems they have is their shotgun approach for release dates.
Yeah.
Fucking hilarious! A week later, like major outlets are talking about like the diminishing numbers that Square Enix is having, and they're citing that as one of the reasons. Just a week later.
I think that conversation you and I had was like right on the ball. It's so, but I can't, because I'm the consumer and because I wanted a lot of these games. I am always going to be bittersweet about it. I can't change that, right? Because I want Octopath Traveler 2. I want Paranormal Sight. I want Triangle Strategy. I want Live Alive. I want Star Ocean.
It's good to want things, but there's such a thing as moderation. Like
I agree with that.
You can have them, but like at least put like at least a month and a half, 2 months between them. Give yourself time to like play the games first. Like it's good to have 3 games you want to play, but you can only buy one of them now, so you gotta pick, and then the rest of them, you're probably gonna the rest of them are just gonna get further and further down that backlog when it starts getting filled up with more and more games that are being released by all these other goddamn companies.
Well said.
Mm-hmm.
Like that happened with me in Fractured But Whole. Like that's been on the back burner for no joke over like 2 years, but like so many other games came out or took its place. It's like it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And I only just recently started playing it after I realized I've really got nothing else to play because I've already started Dead Space, and that was the game I was waiting to come out, and now there's nothing, so I might as well get to it. Backlogs are a bitch. They really are. Amen. Geek news. Just again, because we're in a bit of a general discussion here, just wanted to talk about some things. Has anybody been to see the new John Wick movie?
No, but I hear it's
no.
godsend.
I want to.
I gotta see. I gotta go see the new Creed movie first, and then I'll see the John Wick.
I haven't even seen Creed 2.
Creed 2's good.
Oh, damn.
Creed 2. In fact, you know what? I'll say this. I think Creed 2 is better than Creed 1.
Yeah, I hear Creed 2 might be the peak of the trilogy.
It is
by a hair over 3. By a hair, I hear.
I don't know, dude. If I don't know, man. If you want to see Jonathan Majors go and beat somebody up, why don't you just go to New York?
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Innocent until proven guilty. I'm going to wait for the facts to come out. Like I've said this multiple times. I'm a man of the facts. If it comes out that he really did do this, scumbag. If it turns out that he didn't do it, then let the man live. And anybody else who tried to throw him under the bus, like I did to whoever here last week, Jube last week, needs to owe that man an apology.
The charges got dropped. I'm very curious what's going to happen.
it's one of those unfortunate incidences where you call the police because there's an issue, but you're the one that gets arrested.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
No. He made the 911 call. That much is we know for a fact.
Yeah, he made the 911 call. Like, why would you call?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the one that called the police for help, and he's the one that got arrested.
But no, like seriously, on back onto a more light-hearted topic. John Wick 4 is fucking amazing. Like, I can now turn around and say this is probably one of the tightest franchises ever fucking made. Like, there is no dud in this franchise. The only franchise I think that comes a close second for me, like, banger after banger, maybe a stumble, but not really an entire fall, banger, is the Scream franchise.
Well, I'll give one more. I think minus the second one, Mission Impossible should be up there.
No. Okay, now the reason why I disagree is because I think Mission Impossible 2 is good. I like Mission Impossible 2. No, hear me out. That's because I'm a sucker for John Woo.
Okay, I like John Woo too.
I'm a massive stickler for John Woo, and I just liked how over the top bollocks like it was. Like it's a departure, sure, but like it was only the second movie, so until that was the course correction with the third movie, like it could have gone a bit more over the top bollocks. But I didn't mind the over the topness. Let the doves the doves go. God damn it.
I'm not even gonna name the franchise, and y'all are gonna know what I'm talking about. How dare y'all disrespect family?
Fast and Furious is garbage, bro. Shut up.
Okay, now I'm going to take personal fucking offense to that. Okay, but then again, I'm one of those weird motherfuckers that actually enjoys Tokyo Drift because I just love the Tokyo setting and drifting.
I love Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, any movie that has Han in it, I'm watching it.
I don't think Fast and Furious really had a quote unquote miss until the unfortunate end of Paul Walker.
I say 4 is bad.
Yeah,
4 is the one I go.
Yeah,
5 is great. I enjoy 6. I enjoy 7. Even 8 was good. But 9 already came out.
I say 5. I think 5 has started to become the downhill Porsche. I was like, yeah, they're doing everything but racing.
Yeah, like that. It's when they moved away from like racing being one of the central focuses that things started going downhill for me. Because at least in 1, it was about the racing, but it was into a bigger story. In 2, they used racing as a vehicle to the bigger story. 3, again, racing was the vehicle to a bigger into the bigger story. And again, like I said, I'm just glad that if that's the one thing I actually appreciate about 1, 2, and 3, they kind of actually take like 1 and 2 is about, they're all about street racing, but 1 very much is about like drag racing. More than anything, it's more about drag racing.
Yeah, I would say the third movie was the movie that was most about actual racing.
Yes, I would agree with that. But my point is, it's like the first 3 is like different aspects of driving. Number 1 was about drag racing, like long stretches of road, like be the first one to the finish line. It emphasized with the heists when they try and take the trucks. It's basically straight roads. And you got to try and outrun the truck, the dumb one to get across the train track. 2 was about like legit street racing, like turns and all of that. Even the massively souped nitrous oxide, like souped up cars. 3 was drifting, like a whole new aspect. Because drifting is, once you actually understand like the science behind drifting with cars, it's fascinating, it's insane. That was the thing for me that was lost, is not only the fact that they just went away from the racing, but there were so many other facets of racing they could have, like, explored. Yeah, exactly.
And they ended the movie on a race. Like the climactic moment of the movie was the main character and the villain racing.
Every time I see the ending of Tokyo Drift, I don't think of Tokyo Drift, I think of Need for Speed Carbon.
Wow.
Because that final fucking race is the exact goddamn same. It's nothing but drifting down a mountain.
Yeah, son.
Yeah.
It's probably the most pure movie in the Fast and Furious franchise.
Yeah,
I could see.
I think I agree with that.
As far as like just like more race, as far as like one of one of the feature aspects of it being racing, because again, the villain of it is literally like the Drift King. So yeah, no, I could definitely see that. What else is there? What else could we talk about? Or are we done? You guys got anything else you want to talk about real quick? Just geeky shit.
I don't even know. I don't even know if the topics are there. I came in so late, so
Okay.
I'll look at the stream. I'll look at the stream and figure it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, no. Before we get onto topics, have we got any geeky shit we want to talk about? Is what I'm saying. Like just random shoot the shit.
No. I mean, shit's about to get real in My Hero.
Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Oh, dude.
My Hero.
Oh,
well, hold on.
Yeah.
You can't do spoilers.
Yeah, what's his name? It's now.
I didn't say any spoilers. I just said it's about to get real. Like the big battle, between the villains and the heroes is about to happen. That's not really a spoiler. It's just what's about to happen.
I will turn around and say, speaking on anime, okay, so the last couple of anybody here follow One Punch Man by any chance?
Not manga, just
a little bit. Yeah, I left off after he beat what's his name after he farted and exploded a planet and sneezed. And that battle was crazy.
Oh, the fight with Jana, the fight with fuck's sake, I forgot.
I can't remember his name, but I left off on that.
Okay, you're kind of missing out, but like you can tell right now, even though the last couple of I'd say the last 3 episodes, maybe 4 chapters have been cool. You can tell like what's next. Like we're trying to figure out what to do next after the way it ended. Because with the way that because I think I know which fight you're talking about. With the way that ended, and again, I'm trying not to throw spoilers out. Does anybody care about spoilers about that?
Wait, for which one?
One Punch Man.
One Punch Man.
Oh no, you can tell me One Punch Man.
Okay, basically the climactic fight between Saitama and I'm trying to remember his fucking name because it just
the guy who's almost as strong as him.
No. Oh, believe me, by the end of that, we realized that he was not even close. Like, he wasn't.
Yeah, Saitama, when Saitama actually started trying it, and that's actually scary.
The motherfucker.
When Saitama tries.
Oh, because, like, hey, Kofi, help me out here. Garou.
Garou. The wolf guy?
Garou.
Yeah.
That's the guy who, that's the guy who, he fought against Genos, and Genos was a little bit too slow, right?
Yeah,
and,
kind of.
I saw that.
Here's the thing.
Season 2, right?
But here's the thing. This is in the anime. This is in the manga. The manga is way fucking ahead of that right now. Way fucking ahead. Basically, spoiler alert. In fact, let me throw it up. So he killed Janos. There is a big giant climatic fight. He basically gets the power of God. Like, God is now in play in the One Punch Man series. And yeah, Garou kills Janos, kills everybody because he gets so powerful that he's literally leaking cosmic radiation. He fucking nearly kills the planet. Like, he practically does. Kills everybody. All the heroes, Moonman Rider.
The whole galaxy.
No, not the galaxy, just Earth. But
Moonman Rider?
Moonman Rider, everybody's fucking dead. Everybody is fucking dead. Heroes and villains. The only 2 who are left is him and Saitama. And he realizes just too late that he might have fucked everything up and realized that Saitama is way too fucking strong for him. So, while he's still got the power to God, he teaches Saitama how to time travel. Saitama is so fucking strong, he can time travel.
With his bare strength, with just his speed alone.
With a punch? Wow.
No, not necessarily with a punch. No, like, so it's kind of explained better than I could explain it in the show, but Saitama basically is the best way to describe it. He is basically a god at this point. Like, he is so strong. Like, his power is basically limitless. Like, no matter how Garou kept, no matter how far he kept going, Saitama was just always above him. And when he thought he caught up, Saitama was already leagues beyond him already.
You know what's funny was when he had Saitama fight himself. Saitama versus Saitama, and Saitama just got stronger, just beat up.
Yeah, no, because that was the thing. Garu's basic thing is not manipulation, mimicry. Like, he can mimic a fighting style, and he basically mimicked Saitama to have Saitama's strength. But by that point, Saitama was already stronger than the Saitama he was copying. Like, it was.
Yeah, it was weird.
But it just shows just how fucking insane Saitama really is and how strong he was. And the mess thing about the whole thing and the nail in the coffin at the end of it was the entire time Saitama was fighting one-handed.
Oh my god.
He was fighting one-handed because in his other hand he was holding Genos' core.
Oh shoot.
So, yeah, like, after all of that, after the apocalypse was practically fucking averted, you can tell right now, even though the last 4 have been fun chapters to read, we're in the where the fuck do we go now stage of the manga, because, like...
He needs to go to another planet or something.
No, the next stage, quite frankly, is God. Like, because, like I said, God, there is a God in this game, or at least he's called God, and he ain't benevolent. He's evil. He is evil. Like, this God is evil. Like, the next bad for Saitama to fight is him. It's so... Oh, it's out there. But again, like I said, we went from up here, now we're down here and we're coasting. We're like, okay, these are fun, but now I'm just thinking, how did we go from up here to down here? Like, you expect to ride this a bit more, but no, we just suddenly went down. Not saying it's bad, it's just like, the stakes have disappeared. Alright, but let's move on to the first topic. So, topic number 1. Kofi. You know that meme from, that came out of Endgame of Hawkeye saying, "Don't give me hope"?
Yeah, that's Ronin.
Yeah. Don't give me hope that we could be seeing a Skies of Arcadia remaster.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll just share my thought.
I have an
go.
article. Give me a moment. Let me read out the article. So this is from the Metro newspaper. A rumor says Sega is remastering cult classic Skies of Arcadia, but doesn't specify for which platform. In 2021, Sega mentioned on bringing back dormant IPs, but since then, they haven't really followed through with those plans, aside from a new Samba de Amigo that was announced for the Nintendo Switch last month. There were reports last year of a big budget reboots of Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, but aside from them being name dropped in a recent survey, Sega hasn't acknowledged either product. Now there's chatter of the company reviving its cult classic role player Skies of Arcadia with a new remaster. Skies of Arcadia originally launched with the Sega Dreamcast exclusive in 2001 and was widely considered to be one of the console's best games. Agree. Unfortunately, It underperformed commercially and didn't appear to do much better when it was ported to the Nintendo GameCube in 2003. That's because people didn't know what they had. Although Sega didn't mention Skies of Arcadia in its 2021 list of dormant IPs it was considering reviving, Xbox era Nick Shatnell Baker, I don't know how to say that, claims that it is getting the remaster treatment. He even goes as far as to say, if this thing doesn't come out, it's because Sega chose not to stick, because I've seen screenshots, so I know it exists. You can hear his comments at 2:02:24 mark in the video down below. Baker has proven to be an accurate source in the past, having correctly leaked the Lego 2K Drives title before the official announcement. He doesn't mention what platform Skies of Arcadia would launch for, although a safe bet is the Nintendo Switch given its previous GameCube title. That said, there were cancelled plans to port the game to the PlayStation 2 and PC, and a multi-platform would help with a larger audience. Okay, before Kofi gives his, because I actually want his opinion on this, I'm going to say mine straight out. first of all, this doesn't need a remaster. It needs a remake. Like I'm talking 1-to-1 remake with improvements. Like just some improvements.
Remaster, remake.
Remake. Like this needs a like do it on the Dragon engine. I don't fucking care, but it needs a remake because there are wrinkles in that game that show now that you really didn't think of like years ago, but just give it the remake treatment, iron out the wrinkles, and it will do fine now. But for the love of all that is fuck, make it multi-platform. I need Skies of Arcadia on PC. I need it. Please. Kofi, give us your thoughts.
So, just to give a little background on this game and why I would be so excited, I played this game with my friend from middle school. Pharaoh knows exactly who I'm talking about. It is his favorite RPG of all time. So whenever I would go over to his house, he'd be playing either Evolution or Skies of Arcadia. He was basically, I think, the Sega fanboy out of everybody I knew. I never owned the game myself. I just went over his house and I would play it with him. And when I think about an opportunity to play a remaster of this, I have some mixed feelings because I'm kind of like Dante. I'm okay with the remaster if a lot of work is put into the navigation and how some of the battle mechanics would work. And because I don't know if that's going to translate really well to today. Like to give an example of a very popular game, Resident Evil 4, the OG. I love it, right? Love that fight with Krauser. It's amazing. But when I heard somebody
you lost
new
all
age,
credibility. You just lost all fucking credibility.
what are you talking?
Nobody likes the Krauser fight from the original. Are you talking about the knife fight? Or are you talking about his actual one-on-one? Because I don't know anybody who in their right mind likes that QTE shit.
I died a lot of times, but it was nice to watch. It was nice to watch.
It was nice to watch. No,
Hey, I love QTE. There was what? There was Shenmue, and there was Resident Evil 4.
That's
What
all
other
you need to
QTE?
say. Shenmue. That's all you need to turn around and say.
Yeah, I guess for me, I always thought Krauser was badass. So that was made to be. But my point is, people look at Resident Evil 4 controls and gameplay as antiquated right now, right? Something like you and me, we don't mind not moving and shooting when playing Resident Evil 4 because it was an amazing game. But people nowadays, they go back, they go, "What the heck is this crap? I can at least move in, Resident Evil 2 remake or something like that." So, I think Skies of Arcadia would have the same reaction if it was just put at 60 FPS and could be put on all consoles. But part of the reason why I get a little bit concerned is I've seen some other ports and they don't. They struggle at release. Like I'm thinking of things. It's not by Sega, okay, but I'm thinking of like Chrono Cross and how for basically a year this thing had stutter issues and it was broken in certain areas and it was available on many platforms, but they didn't get it right. So I want the correct amount of funding to go into this game. If this game doesn't need to come out until 2024, fine. Let it be on, like you said, Dante, if it's on something like Steam, we know that game preservation is going to take care of it long term. So I'm cautiously optimistic because I will buy it day one. I hope there's a physical, take the Skies edition, the Vice edition, whatever they call it.
Comes with a statue of the actual ship itself.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Which one? Little Jack?
Oh, what was the main ship? What was the main ship?
Yeah, the OG, the first one.
I don't know the name of the first one. I just remember Little Jack. That was one of my favorite ones.
I will find the name, Kofi, while you continue.
So yeah, I mean that was basically the summary of my thoughts. As long as they take time, because part of why I don't really have any evidence of this, but I feel like it being everywhere is the best chance for it to survive. But take your time to optimize it for all the platforms, right? If PC has a bunch of different architectures that you need to specify for it, then fine. Or stagger it, right? It'll come out in PC in 6 months after the Switch release. Let's say they think Switch is going to be their biggest income, fine. Or if Game Pass is going to be their biggest income, fine. Just don't have it come out somewhere and it's like, why is this version so terrible? And then they don't fix it. That would be my cautious optimism.
The Dolphinus. The Delphin.
Oh, the Dolphin. Yeah, the Dolphin. I remember that was the main ship that we got.
Yeah, that was the most powerful ship in one of the most powerful ships in Skies in Arcadia.
Moonstone Cannon.
Little Jack was the Dartmouth's personal ship.
Yeah, I actually like that little ship. I like the Harpoon Cannon.
But yeah, no, it's got to be the Delphinus. Delphinus. God damn it, saying that so.
I mean, they could make a lot of money off of this if they do like collectibles,
Yes,
stuff
they
like that.
can.
Like you said, like get the ship, get all the characters, you know, whatever you call it, 1/8 scale models, 1/16 scale models. Oh, there's so much potential. Get some what do you call those? The tapestries. Get some A1s. Come on.
Agree. Jube,
Like,
what do you
look at,
think?
like, oh, I'm sorry,
What do
go
you
ahead. I'm
think?
done.
Because we obviously know you love JRPGs. What are your thoughts on the potential of Skies of Arcadia getting a remaster?
I saw it and I was like, ain't no way, because I haven't played Skies since the damn Dreamcast. I've downloaded the emulator. I haven't brought myself to actually go back and replay that game. And but if it is getting remade, then I will hold off and I will wait for that. If it is next year or something like that, please give it the time to breathe. Like, that was a big part of my childhood, is playing that game. And to be able to do it again as an adult with some more perspective and to be able to like understand the story and shit. Yeah. I'm all for it. Let's do it. Like, I'm not 10 years old anymore, you feel me? Yeah. So as long as it's given proper care, I'm all for it. If it's like a cash grab like that Final Fantasy 1 through 6 with the worst running versions where like emulators and shit can run that shit better, they can keep it.
I'll also turn around and say, if Sega is watching, God knows if they'll ever see this, you don't need to follow Final Fantasy. This does not need to be real time. This does not need to be real time combat. You can keep it turn based. People will be happy.
I agree. I mean, I think there's plenty of good turn based games, but this one doesn't need to change.
Nope.
Regardless.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't believe I asked you to speak, Pharaoh. How dare you? How dare you? I was going to go to Nappy next, but you can go next.
Other people have been jumping in. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can talk. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Pharaoh.
I didn't really have a ton to say. I just, I was going to say that, with today's climate and the success of the remakes, I think they should definitely go the remake route.
A modern route.
The game's like what, almost 20 years old?
It's over 20 years old.
Doesn't feel like Dreamcast was that long ago.
It was.
But,
1999.
Yeah, so but yeah, it was a great game, and I think there's definitely some nostalgia attached to it, and I think the success of remakes it just makes sense to do the remake thing right now. Until further notice, remakes stop selling, then stop. But for now, I think we should do the remake thing. Keep it going.
If this comes out, if they are remaking this, which I don't think they should, I think they should. If they're not remastering this, they should remake it. And honestly, if they want to really hype it up, get people behind buying this, they could wait until 2025.
I think the only way they should remaster it is if it's a Switch only game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this cannot be a Switch only. In my opinion, they should not be a Switch only. They should remaster this on multi-platter.
They need to bring back the mini game. They need to bring back the mini games too that you used to be able to play on the VMU.
And
like, bring
I don't.
Oh, go ahead, Pharaoh.
I was gonna say, I think the only people that might lock it up exclusive is Sony. I don't think anybody else will lock it up.
No, that's why I'm saying multiplat makes the more sense and guarantee because then this is what will happen. The Switch will get a port of it, and people will be happy to have Skies of Arcadia on the go. PlayStation will have it, and the JRPG fans will rejoice. Xbox will get it and it won't fucking sell. So people like Jubei can turn around and constantly argue that they just don't have enough JRPGs, and people on PC will be like, "Fucking finally, took you 25 years." But no, the reason why I turn around and say it should come out in 2025, a full remake, like I said, not remaster, full remake, be as close to the original as possible, turn-based, all the nice bells and whistles, iron out the wrinkles, bring it out October 5th, 2025. And there's a reason. Because then that will be the 25th anniversary of Skies of Arcadia.
That sounds really, really appealing to hear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that you can call it internet. They could like run commercials and like make it Sega Pirate Day or some shit. Like they could make something. They could really like turn the dial up to 11 for it. Like make it a big deal. Like this is a game that like. Because here's the thing: as much as people turn around and say, "Oh, it's a cult game," like a lot of things Skies of Arcadia did. A lot of JRPGs and even some Western RPGs that emulate JRPGs emulated like years after this came out. Like there are some roots in this game for a number of modern JRPG tropes.
Yep. And one thing I also wanted to add that you said that maybe my mind clicked is Sega is potentially a healthy contributor to the, I would say, AA turn-based RPG market, right? They've got the like you already mentioned, the Dragon Ninja on Yakuza 7, and I'm gonna assume Yakuza 8 is gonna take some sort of turn-based approach, and they kind of sit opposite of Square Enix as a publisher and Bandai Namco, even though Bandai Namco doesn't have anything turn-based, with Tales and what's that other game that just came out? Scarlet Nexus, and obviously like Final Fantasy and goodness, Kingdom Hearts are under Square Enix. Sega has Yakuza or Like a Dragon, and they could add something like a Skies of Arcadia if they use the Dragon Engine, or maybe some what we call it, derivation of the Dragon Engine. They could have Skies of Arcadia maybe become a series. Like, oh, we'd love to remake it, but it could be a trilogy. And I just feel like any RPG that is at least in the AA space, it usually sells pretty well, right? Or for example, like Atelier Ryza or any Atelier game, the franchise has done fairly well, I think, when they commit to a system that a certain part of the fan base likes. So I think there's something there for it, especially when they have experience, right? They could look at the Dragon team and be like, maybe we should like take some of the mechanics that the Dragon Engine's using. It doesn't need to be like Yakuza at all, but I think there's experience over there that could teach, a new Arcadia team what to do.
And that's the thing as well. Like if they do decide to do this and they realize there is a market out there for JRPGs, mainly if like they make it multi-plat, maybe that could also bring the resurgence of the Phantasy Star and Shining Force series.
Ooh, yeah, Shining Force needs to come back. Obviously, they did have a game, but it wasn't well received.
I wonder why. Nappy, your thoughts?
So when I jumped into Skies of Arcadia, that actually my first time playing that game was on the Nintendo GameCube, and I immediately loved the story of Skies of Arcadia, sailing the 7 skies, grabbing all the moon crystals, learning, playing as Vice, Eka, Fena, Draka. I can't remember the guy names with the gun. Damn, I forgot his name because he was actually, I thought he was pretty cool as well, especially with his one combo where he just literally pulls out his pirate ship and just explodes everything. Also, I like Vice's last Pirate's Wrath. That was really cool. And also, please, Moons, give Sega strength to make a remake if they can do it. As far as a remake go, if I do want to see a remake, yes, I do believe that the old game does show a lot of wrinkles. I do play it on my mobile phone with my mobile controller with Dolphin Emulator. So as far as it being turn-based, I'm kind of like, yeah, nay, like I'm okay with the turn-based, but I don't know if this newer, it's not just adults that will be playing this game. I'm pretty sure that kids will also want to play this too. And I'm not sure if this new generation has the patience for turn-based games. So that's kind of like a little iffy thing. But at the same time, one of the biggest challenges is that how are they going to do the combat system with you on a ship and then you randomly encounter monsters jumping on your ship on the bridge all the time? So that would be a very interesting dynamic that they could figure out. Also, I really do think that the game needs voice acting because, God forbid,
Yeah.
I don't think these kids have the patience of reading all the dialogue because it is a lot to read. And if they don't have the patience, these kids just do not have the patience to read a lot of dialogue to figure out the backstory. And also iron out some the discoverables. Oh, they kind of do need to iron that out because there's actually one part where you're trying to get the green moon crystal, and God forbid if you don't run into that mountain that will point you to the way, you will not find that green moon crystal. It was actually a real big problem with me when I was playing as a kid. I actually leveled up 15 levels before I actually found the hawk. That there was like a hawk on the ground that pointed to the mountains. The mountains had a big golden golem that you don't see, that there is no indicator that it's there. You just randomly run into it and you just be tapping A, hoping that you run into it. And then when you run into the statue, it will point to another mountain that, mind you, there is no markers to let you know that this mountain is someplace that you're supposed to dock. And you dock at this mountain, and then you go get the moon crystal. Or fight the bad boss and do the moon crystal and all that other stuff. So that will be so yeah, there's definitely some iron out that Sega needs to do for this remake to make this like appeal not just to the old generation for us who grew up on it, but also appeal to the new generation because let's face it, there's less of us and there's more than them.
But to say that, like that to me, that kind of discounts the success of like the trend of turn, like there are turn-based role playing games coming out. Like Baldur's Gate is turn-based, isn't it?
Like Dragon Quest 12. I'm sure that's going to do numbers.
Dragon's
People
Quest, Octopath Traveler 1 and 2 are both turn-based, aren't they?
Yes.
True.
Triangle Strategy is turn-based, isn't it?
That's true.
Like,
I haven't played Triangle. Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. Like I do think some of the bigger selling ones, I think they will reach a wider audience if the game isn't turn based. Even like the One Piece, even like recently One Piece series is coming out with a turn based game, and that did okay from last time I checked. It seems like the newer kids, they don't like turn based for some reason. They like having control over their all control at all times over their characters. So I mean, I'm okay with turn-based. I think Skies of Arcadia did a really good job with their turn-based system. The whole bounty system, the discoverabilities is a little iffy. They definitely need to work on the discoverability stuff. But yeah, I really do enjoy it. But at the same time, like I know other people who look at turn-based as a snooze fest for them for some reason.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't want to go through all that download.
But hold on, because but then you also got to look at like. Okay, I know it's kind of, maybe it's the exception that proves the rule. Like for the Persona series, like Persona 5 specifically, like that blew the fuck up, and that's turn based. And like that series ain't going to stop being turn based. Like same with the Shin Megami Tensei series, like Shin Megami Tensei 5 sold really well on the Switch. My bitching about performance aside.
Yeah,
both of them? Persona and Shin Megami Tensei?
Yeah, because if you look across the industry is moving away from turn-based in general when it comes to the more bigger RPGs. I think we grew up on turn-based, so we're more comfortable and accustomed to it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't start playing RPGs until like probably a couple of years ago because like I just never grew up on them. I wasn't a well-off kid, bro.
And it doesn't need to be big.
Why not? Even like Pokemon was turn-based.
I didn't grow up on Pokemon either.
I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of almost every RPG from the 90s all the way up to like 2008,
early 2000s,
turn-based. Yeah, it was like all of it was turn-based. I
thought the newer Pokemon still are turn-based when you get into battles.
Yeah, I thought
the newest still are. Yeah, but I'm just saying it's just something that, as an RPG player, we were accustomed to because that's just the standard that it was. But I mean, I think it was admittedly more of a workaround to a gameplay limitation because the technology just wasn't there.
And
to
I
fit
will call no, and I'll
other
call
forms of
and I'll call bullshit on that when you look at Dark Cloud.
Not everyone had the Dark Cloud engine, though. We'll have to say.
There was Tales, and there was Star Ocean. I mean, there were some Tales and Star Ocean.
They took heavy workarounds to get that stuff to work. They were squeezing every ounce of strength out of their consoles to make those work.
The more technology evolves, the more JRPGs are getting away from turn-based. I think it's more technology evolving and them having more options of how they want to deliver combat within an RPG.
Dude, Dark Cloud came out in 2000.
That's why we're seeing more.
I don't want to hear that excuse when that Dark Cloud came out in 2000. By the way, shout out to Level 5, by the way.
Question is who's going to be the voice actor?
And Level 5 is making a big turn-based game, Deca Police, due out this year.
Yeah, but let's see how far it spreads.
That's true.
I like Dragon Quest still turn-based, but it's like, but turn-based is still, but even like turn-based itself is changing because they're making turn-based where you still have control of your character. It's just not their turn to attack it. They're like doing turn-based in different ways.
That's true.
So
now here's the thing: if they did that, if they did it that way, where you still have control of your character and you can move position. Okay, I'm gonna really. Okay, so now I'm actually gonna go really deep on this. But if they take like the South Park Fractured But Whole approach, where yes, you've got control of your character, it's still turn-based, but you got control of your character where you can go from attacking this guy over here and you can move your character over to this guy over here and attack him. That I feel would be fine. I would be fine with that. If that makes sense.
You can already do that with Skies of Arcadia though.
Right.
So why not keep it then? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm saying keeping it, but at the same time, like,
hold on.
I don't know because a lot of people don't find turn-based as engaging.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's because
you want to get everybody to play.
That's because these people just haven't had one that actually challenges their fucking brains or lack thereof.
We're talking about the TikTok generation. Come on now.
Yeah, no brains.
I mean,
like, come on, they need flashy stuff. Don't get me wrong, like Skies of Arcadia is going to have a lot of flashy stuff.
Okay.
Heck, they're going to be spamming Cutlass Fury and what else? Alpha Storm. Those are the main two things that are going to be spammed every 5 minutes. Especially Alpha Storm. It only costs 4 points.
I mean, I know me personally, like, I mean, I'm more of a Final Fantasy head. After Final Fantasy X, it was slowly moving away from turn-based. Every game, they got further and further away from turn-based. It's just like as the technology evolved, I saw them get further and further.
And look how further and further downhill it went.
Yeah, I still can't stand 13. Even though that's pretty turn-based. That's pretty turn-based. I still can't stand
it. I was like, 13's third turn-based. That was a weird turn-based, but it's turn-based nonetheless.
But it was just a fucking trash game. It was a trash series.
It was a trash game.
Yep. I mean, you could play 7 Remake as a turn-based
if you wanted to. Okay, by the way, I should point out, when I say trash series, I specifically mean 13, 13-2, and 13-3.
Right.
I actually like the basis of 15's combat. I think it was just a little bare bones. But I think conceptually it was they were going in the right direction with it. So I'm excited to kind of see what they do with 16 now. But we'll see.
Yeah. But also I'm curious about the voice actors because there is a lot of important characters in Skies of Arcadia. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of voice actors they're going to have to hire. And God forbid, if you got the crewmates.
Fuck that. Just get people who can do multiple voices.
They probably just do partial voice acting, like where only certain, like Dragon Quest, not all the characters have voice acting. It's like select characters here and there, and the rest you have to read.
I could be fine with that. Like major cutscenes and like moments that are like emotional moments. Yeah, they should have cutscenes. But I would turn around and say if you're just walking around town and just talking to Joe Blow NPC, like I'd be fine with that just being text.
That is so expensive right now. So.
I'm about to say because look at Final Fantasy VII Remake. They have all of the characters have voices, even if the same person doing multiple voices. Look at Resident Evil 4. Everyone has
And
voices.
that shit is expensive.
And
It is
it's
expensive, but
Oh,
it's
but
hard
that,
to
yeah,
do,
but
but
I'm,
it's a good
I'm
payoff.
guaranteeing you, like a lot of those voice actors pulled double duty, and they reused a lot of voice actors. They reused
In
a
3
lot of
years?
voices.
Not even 3 years. In 2 years, it won't be expensive anymore. You'll even see AA games have full voice acting because of AI.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
but yes. Oh yeah. God, the Trump Obama.
Dude,
Biden
that is the best
reigns.
shit on the
Hey,
internet. I don't care what you say. Fucking
Yeah,
Trump,
the AI
Biden, and Obama playing Call of Duty Zombies is fucking gold.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah,
But
the AI voice acting is going to take over. So like you won't even need it won't be nearly as expensive as hiring real people to do.
yeah, that is
Like-
true. That's something that Sega can do as this approach. But yeah, because Skies of Arcadia again has a lot of characters, and that some of them play a lot of them play important roles.
So
It's a lot of them
quick,
keep on coming back.
and really quick, so Trails has a lot. The more I look at Vice, Trails takes a lot from Skies of Arcadia in terms of the last 2 games, the ones that are only out in Japan. For one, they have a huge cast, probably bigger than Skies of Arcadia. Some 30 people. And what they typically do is, just like you're saying, Nappy Senshi, they have significant scenes that are acted. And beyond that, Trails has received criticism because they usually get pretty expensive actors over there as well. But they also have position-based, decision-based combat. And they could probably take some notes from what the Trails team has done or what Falcom has done as of late to do for them. Like, it's basically Grandia, but like you can decide where you're standing. So I think there's something to it, man. I think that they could really, or what the Dragon Engine does already in Yakuza 7, right? I mean, it's there for them to take. So
Yeah, again, like
Yeah,
I
they
I
said,
can
don't even
work.
look at games like when I look at the game. I don't even look at it like, oh, I want to play it because it's turn based, or oh, I want to play it because it's action based. I just want to play it because the experience. I don't even like. It almost is just like just play it. I never even realized that people were so. Like there's so many turn-based games, so many, right? Like Live Alive's coming out. You
Yeah.
got the Suikoden, not just Suikoden Remaster, but the Suikoden, what's it called? Dragon AU Hyakuten, Rising, or not Rising, but the actual whatever people who made the original game made this game. Chained Echoes just came out. We have Sea of Stars coming out August. Octopath Traveler 2 just came out 2 weeks ago. There's tons of turn-based RPGs, so we're good. So I just never get the like, oh, like we need more of this and more of that. There's tons of them. Let's go play them.
Kofi,
Yeah.
do you have any like? Oh, you have children. You have like nieces and nephews around like 8 and 9 and 10, or let's go 12. Do you have anyone between 9 and 13?
I don't. Not
Really?
really.
I love how you're passionate about all these turn-based games, and then you like name like 7 that we can't even play.
Well, wait a minute. Okay. Chained Echoes is on Game Pass.
There's a
Chained Echoes is on Game Pass. All right, so you need to go play that, and then Sea
Yeah,
of
it is.
Stars.
I didn't say all of them. I
Okay.
didn't say all of them you named. I said you named like 7 of them that we can't play, and then said there's so many.
So that's true. Kuro no Kiseki 1 and 2, you're right. But I mean, hey, you can play the whole Cold Steel series, right? All 4 localized. The 5th one comes out this July in English. So,
didn't you already give this man a list he needs to play?
Hey,
So-
well, Star Ocean doesn't count because it's not turn-based.
So I over pre-ordered Traces of 2 Pass. I somehow have 4 copies.
Word?
How did you?
Can I get one of those?
Damn it, you
Shit.
beat me to it. I was going to ask that, just not publicly.
You say got 4. They got
Yeah.
2 more left.
If you pay for shipping, Kofi gave me a copy. He gave me a copy in Japanese.
Yeah.
Fine, I
I'll
will
pay-
pay
I'll
for
pay
shipping.
I ordered one. I ordered one from Amazon apparently, and when I ordered that one, 2 of them came,
Apparently, this motherfucker
then
don't
one-
even know
and
what
then-
he ordered.
and
I
then
think it's just a
one from Square Enix came today.
All right, fair enough. I think we got everything. I think we got everything out we wanted to about gushing over a Trails Cold Steel. Fuck you, Kofi.
Skies of Arcadia rumor.
Skies of Arcadia remaster. The possibility. All right.
I said remake, not remaster.
I'm hoping for a remake. Okay, but then again, I'm Hawkeye. Don't give me hope. All right, but I would say let's move on to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. It's a somber moment. Can we all have a moment of silence for the eShop, the Nintendo eShop? Anyway, so yes, the eShop for the Wii U and the 3DS has shut down officially. Took long enough. Like I could have sworn they turned around and said they were shutting this shit down like 4 years ago. Like, and that's not me saying like I'm happy that it's shut down. I'm just shocked it took this long. Like this has been the longest period of taking something off of life support ever. Like they were supposed to like shut this down like fucking years ago at this point. Like 2 years, like legitimately probably about 2 years ago. Like I think we first reported on this. Like we definitely
got a lot of backlash.
Yeah, no shit. And for good fucking reason. Because their current store's trash. They don't allow you to download the games you currently got on your Switch, which is trash. So, of course, people were pissed. But unfortunately, they didn't stay pissed for long enough. And now the eShop is now gone. But I believe you can still download the games that you have purchased on those devices.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They have to honor that, but the question is how long do companies really have to keep games in their servers before they can even just drop those? Because I was thinking about that when I saw that like the eShop like died, and I'm like, huh. Even though that like say for instance Xbox 360, because of all the games I purchased on my 360 online, I still have access to all those to download, but what if like one day Microsoft said, "Oh, those servers are gone.
A class action lawsuit.
We're not holding those games."
Right there. That to me, that to me is going to be when that happens. And I don't actually think it's going to be Nintendo or Xbox that does it first. I think it's going to be PlayStation.
I
think somebody out there is going to be pissed enough they're going to bring a class action lawsuit against one of these companies. And win or lose, it's going to cause some form of ripple effect, which is going
digital media.
In digital media, which is going to cause, let me finish, which is going to cause a ripple effect of all of these companies now looking into how do we back channel if we update our store or make a new one, how do we back channel it to the old one so that these people can download their digital games? Or
like Sony's doing right now.
Or they go the absolute route and put in their terms of service that once this service is shut down, you can't sue us.
I'm not sure if it's going to be a game thing, but I do think, whether it be games, music, movies, any type of entertainment media, being that the world is going more and more digital and people start losing content that they paid for, I think it's going to end up getting regulated. And that's going to apply to all forms of media at that point. So it might be video games first. It might be music, and it might be movies, but it's going to be one of those things where you end up losing access to content that you purchased, and people are going to have to
be okay with that.
Companies going to have no, they're not going to be okay with it. Regulation's going to come because if you have a library of like $10,000 worth of movies, and then they're like, well, 7,000 of those movies are 30 years old now, so you don't have access to them anymore. So it's going to
let me explain why I actually think it's video games that's going to do that first. So, first of all, there is no... I can't think of many places, if any, online that allow you to buy movies straight out. Because you don't... I don't believe you can... No, you can buy movies on Amazon. Maybe that's one of them.
You buy on Prime Video.
Pardon?
I'm about to say you could do Prime Video, YouTube Premium, because I bought 3 movies on YouTube Premium. PlayStation Store, believe it or not, sell movies. They actually had a recently.
I know they sell movies. Okay, but my point is,
Microsoft Store.
Hold on, but that kind of leads into what I was going to say about music. With music, you got like, you've got the Apple iTunes Store. There you can buy music. I don't count whatever the fuck Kanye West is on. But yeah, like you look at the Apple Store and it's like, okay, like the big one. There's not many other places you can buy music. It's all about streaming now. You know what you guys have been trying to push for fucking years. But like a lot of these companies, first of all, some of them are, I don't want to say too big to fail, because eventually everything fails, everything dies. Like time and death are like the undisputed champions of the world. No one ever fought. They never lose. But if you look at what they've done throughout the years, no matter how much they've changed, they've always the framework has always been the same. Whether it be iTunes or Amazon or what have you, it's always been the same. And this is why I think video games are going to be the first ones that happens to. The framework of games is the framework of these consoles and the architecture of the stores they put behind them is always fucking changing. Always. Like the PlayStation Store from the PS3 is completely different to the PlayStation Store we've got today in both framework and presentation. Same with the Xbox, same with the Microsoft Store. That was different in the 360 to what it is now. So the framework and not just the presentation, it's not what you see at face value, it's what you don't see behind the scenes is completely different every generation. Again, and you know what we're talking about, the 3DS, like the eShop is completely different to the Nintendo store we have on the Switch now to what it was on the Wii U. And that was a generation ago for the Wii, for Nintendo. So that's why I think with it's going to happen with video games first and not music and movies, because in those industries, they're always the framework's been the same, that you could always access your content on those sites. Not so with consoles. Like I can't download. Like if Amazon completely redesigns their store tomorrow, I can still download like a movie I bought on the new website, but I can't download a game I bought on my PS3 on my PS4.
I was going to say that's more so of the architecture of the engine and the hardware itself. You forgot that Nintendo, they love doing extremely new, innovative ideas with each console, except for the GameCube. GameCube was pretty was the most normal to me. Actually, I take that back. Super Nintendo. But yeah, like the engines, I think the biggest thing is the engines. Now, the nice thing that companies can do is every time when they have something like this is they can give the newer generation consoles ability to emulate the older games onto their newer consoles. But apparently that is a hassle. Heck, Microsoft even admits that that's like a little bit of a hassle, but they're still doing it. But they're going all the way back to the Xbox. Heck, you can still take Halo 2 from the regular Xbox, and the newer person can take a copy of Halo 2 for the Xbox Series X, and they can both still play together. But the Xbox Series X because the Xbox Series X still has the ability to emulate. That will be the nice thing that these companies can do to keep game preservation. But I'm gonna be honest, I honestly don't think they're gonna do it.
But we're not even necessarily talking. Well, one of the aspects is game preservation, but not necessarily what I was getting at. What I was mainly getting at was, and this is one of the problems with the whole digital thing that I've talked about. Your game has a shelf life. Like if anything, your game has a shelf. Your digital games have a shorter shelf life than a physical game does. Because, like you turned around and said, once they stop allowing server space for that shit, it's gone.
Yeah, like look at what some of those exclusives on Google Stadia, right? They kind of got screwed out of them if they loved them.
Yeah,
there was a couple of exclusives there.
You can't do anything with those. So that's why I'm saying, like, at that point, I see a lawsuit coming. Like, no, you can't just cut off my ability to download this game. I purchased this game. I own this game. You should still provide me this game. and either way, win or lose, like that's going to cause a ripple effect, mainly in the games industry, of how do we go forward with digital games now? Do we now try and get emulation for these games in the future on future consoles with where we can backdoor into the old framework to get the game so they can play it on the new systems? Or do we add a new clause in terms and conditions saying once service is terminated, you can't sue us?
Actually, what about another option? I mean, another option will be to make cracked versions of the games, but except the companies are the ones that crack them rather than the community doing it. Take away their to make them so that way you can make as many copies as you want. Add LAN support, so basically you don't even need the internet to play it. You can literally have 2 computers hooked up with Ethernet cables to play games together, or 2 consoles for this point.
I would say when they get to a certain age, they would do that.
Yeah, like I mean, that's honestly like the best. That'd probably be the best thing for them to do is or because I'll be honest, now that the 3DS and the Wii U are officially done, you already know what people are about to do. We about to sell the 7 Cs. We not giving a fuck no more. You don't provide us the games, we're going to get them one way or another.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But I mean, as far as a lawsuit, I could definitely see a lawsuit happening, and that will affect all digital media. The worst come to worst, I could see them coming up with that terms of service where they're saying once we shut down the servers, that's it. The best case scenario is making it where not necessarily there will be the option to give you always have the ability to download the games, or making it like where at a certain point the game becomes uncracked or cracked version, and they just let you have free reign with the game. You could do whatever you want with it.
In going back to your point of game preservation, I would say the option where allowing you to download it would aid in game preservation, because let me throw the example. If this scenario played out, and I do want anybody else to jump in after I've said my piece to give their thoughts on all of this. Say I bought a digital version of Resistance 3 on the PlayStation 3, right? If this hypothetical situation we're talking about had already happened, or someone had thought of this scenario back then when games digital stuff was in its infancy, to be fair, I would be able to. That means that 2 generations later, they would be updating the game or updating their emulation software on their console, where I could download that son of a bitch on my PlayStation 5. That's what I feel they should be doing. Like the PlayStation 6 should come out right out the gate. Should come out. You're able to download Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut if you own it digitally.
That sounds good. I actually like that. The only people who are going to fight against that is Nintendo, because look at their console generations. Completely different controllers.
I get that, but like that to me is the best case scenario, because that aids in game preservation, meaning that somewhere out there that game still exists. Mainly, and I'm thinking mainly for my digital brethren. Like I really don't give a shit. I'm a physical guy, but obviously I'm a PC guy, so I'm more digital myself. But you know, Steam is the epitome. Steam and GOG are the epitome of fucking game preservation, anyway. But because there's another idea. There's another thing. Steam, like, no matter how many iterations of the PC, what changes on PC, no matter GOG more so with this regard, actually. No matter the architecture of the PC, no matter the framework of the PC, Steam games will work, and Steam will allow you their backlog. But again, like I said, that to me is the way this needs to go. Like it will help in game preservation and stop any potential lawsuits. The next Xbox, the Xbox 720. or the Xbox 2, should I say? Sorry, no, the Xbox Series. There we go.
Series.
The next, no, not even Series. The next one's gonna be called the Xbox Series X.
Oh god.
And the PlayStation 6 will every game at launch, every game that you bought digitally or any game that is out, mainly first party, but I'd imagine third parties would start getting on this as well. Like every first party game out the box, if you have a physical copy of it or you have it downloaded or you have it bought on your account, will be downloadable and playable on launch.
And so, really quick to piggyback up that, I'm pretty sure
Right.
Xbox does this too. Because I'm one of the biggest critics of the fact that PlayStation had a great store for some of the old, PlayStation 1 games especially. But I had purchased Wild Arms 2 on Vita, or no, I think it was on the PSP store, like back in 2015 or something crazy. And finally, when they added Wild Arms 2 to PS5, it linked back to my account and I didn't have to buy it again. That's what they need to keep doing because it was first party. It makes it easier. But to your point, if you also have a disc going from, let's say, PS4 to PS6 or PS5 to PS6, they should do that too. I completely agree.
Yeah, because like Xbox did that. Like Xbox, I will give full credit to Xbox there as well. Like you got an Xbox 360 game that we have in our back catalog. You shove that disc in, it will read the disc and recognize the game and just download a digital version of it. Like
Yep.
that is what we need as the standard right now, because it avoids shit like this with the Wii U and the 3DS going down. Where let's be frank here, this honestly kills. Like I won't say kills, but I still want to get Majora's Mask 3D. I still want to get a Switch a 3DS XL because I want to mod it to be able to record it. And I want to get Majora's Mask 3D because goddamn, it's Majora's Mask, the greatest fucking Legend of Zelda game ever goddamn made. Don't at me because you're just wrong. But like, just like the lack of preservation makes me wonder. Okay, so this from the very beginning was a dead end because you weren't going to continue after this. As soon as the Switch came out, the decision was already fucking made that the 3DS was going to be the final goddamn handheld. In the traditional handheld regard for Nintendo, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially I probably am curious to see if there's any way to clone the hardware. Somebody's gonna probably make clone hardware of it and make like a clone cartridge to run all the games on a clone 3DS. Or heck, just buy a flip phone and put a controller onto it. There you go. That's the closest thing you're probably going to get to.
I mean, there's already emulation and stuff like that, and
it works very well, but it's not the same.
There I kind of disagree actually. So
well, without the touch screen and the pen and the here is where I become the master, young Senshi. Are you ready to kneel at the feet of the master so that you understand and that you can learn kneel
something?
At the feet of the master. I don't kneel at no one, but sure. Okay. Let's see what you can teach me.
Okay. So there is a I don't have it here, but I do have a pad, and I also have my phone. Okay. There is actually an application called Space Disk that allows you to link your phone with your computer. That effectively turns it into a screen for your computer. And well, if you move the let's just turn around and say there is an emulator out there. Hypothetically, there's an emulator out there that allows you to emulate 3DS games. Something to do with lemons, like maybe a Citra kind of thing.
I got you.
If you actually and you place that phone screen or pad screen that you've now turned into another screen for your PC underneath, so it's one screen here and one screen here, and then you stretch down that window just so that the touchpad, that what would be the touchpad of the 3DS is on your phone, it does end up having touchpad activity.
Yeah, that's a workaround. I'll give you that.
That's
works.
that is. I heard some handsome Englishman once did that for a playthrough on stream of Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. The name escapes me of this devilishly handsome Englishman, but he did just that. And I remember his critique being it would be nice for Citra to update their emulator to where you can actually separate the two screens of the touchpad and the main game screen, so you could have them on two separate screens to do that without having to stretch it awkwardly. The name of this man escapes me, and I'm just throwing hypotheticals out there and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I believe something like that would work from what I have noticed and seen.
That's a good one. I still say the best one is a flip phone with a controller attached.
Problem there you got then is just massive. Well, with a phone, if you ain't got a PC, fine. But the problem with the flip phone idea is the screen crunch is going to be insane. Because you'd have to really skew aspect ratio for a flip phone to do that.
It's actually not that bad. As long as you got the vertical flip. The Samsung vertical flip phone, Z flip phone. My friend showed me with a controller, and yeah, he was
to have both screens on it though. Like
yeah, so he has his bottom screen has the touchpad, and his top screen he treats as like a regular screen. That's honestly the best way to emulate 3DS games I've ever seen. And phones with their Snapdragon, Snapdragon first generation can run 3DS games perfectly fine.
Biggest problem with all of this is allegedly decoding 3DS games to actually run on emulation is a bit of a bitch.
It got better. Come on now.
Still a bitch.
Nintendo's security ain't that great.
Still annoying.
I shouldn't say that out loud. But
no, that okay. He's allegedly it's bad. Allegedly, love that word. I love
GTA.
that fucking word. That love. Has anybody else got any thoughts on this? On any of this that they'd like to throw their hat into the ring for before we move on to the last topic? Jube's been auspiciously quiet.
What?
I mean, he unmuted, but I still don't hear him. Jube, do any...
I said, can you hear me now?
Oh, okay.
No, I said y'all were fucking talking. Of course, I was especially.
Okay, sorry.
quiet.
I was wondering if I had to get.
Sorry.
I was wondering if I had to get the bus again.
You didn't.
I heard somebody hit a desk then.
Like
You got nothing, Jube?
I understand why they're doing, but I don't understand why they're doing it because I think it's stupid. Like it's not fair. Like why? Who wants to turn down like free money? Like I never understood that part, and it makes no sense to me. The biggest thing though, out of all of that, is this is just setting the stage so that they can re-release these things on the fucking Switch or whatever's next for Nintendo on their new eShop store, so they can sell it back to you at full price again. Like we've already been here.
No, I didn't even buy it. They ain't even selling it to you. They're renting it to you with the fucking expansion pass. We're already seeing that with Metroid Fusion, which was available on the Wii U. I own it on the Wii U, and now it's under the fucking expansion pass for what, like $30 a year?
Mm-hmm.
Again, you renting your shit now. You don't own it. Welcome to the digital age.
Yeah, it's annoying. I just kind of wish they had a better way of going about it, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Jube, how could they do that to you?
because they hate my guts.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not on about that.
Yep. I mean, I don't. That's also one of the reasons why I actually buy physical when it comes to Nintendo related stuff. Because I know they'll do shiesty things like this. So, um, yeah, I'm gonna continue doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's hoping we get some good out of this, even though I highly doubt it. I just don't see the point.
Okay,
Really,
Jubei, look at the
doing that.
screen. Would you say this is a good metaphor to what Nintendo's doing to everybody?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Throw everybody under the bus. That's exactly what we're getting.
Everybody goes under the bus. Everybody. All right.
Yeah, it's sad.
Oh, we lost Nappy. Damn it.
I'm still here. I'm listening. I got my headphones in. I just made some. I'm making more tea.
Don't worry about it. Just Nintendo's throwing us all under the bus.
Yeah, good thing I am with my man Vice and selling the Seven Skies, getting moon crystals.
Them beautiful, beautiful moon crystals.
Yep.
All right, let's. I'm just looking at all. I just put whatever you do. If you want a good time, go on Google and just type in what was it? Thrown under the bus, and just go on GIFs and just enjoy yourself. Anyway, all right. Last topic. Is Congress going after Sony? Okay. So this is a article from Axios. I'm going to read it out, and I want Kofi's first impression of this as well, because this, God damn. I mean, in some regards, Sony has fucked over some people. In this regard, I think Mr. Fantastic stepped into the room and started stretching. So let's read this. Members of Congress from both sides of the aisle are pressing the Biden administration to take action on PlayStation Xbox console competition in Japan. Policymakers raised concerns last week to Biden officials, saying Sony's business practices in its native Japan is blocking US companies from competing in their country's gaming market and could be running afoul of the US-Japan trade deals. The unexpected pressure became public on Thursday when Senator Maria Cantwell DeWaj pressed U.S. Trade Representatives Catherine Tai on it during the trade hearing. 10 members of the House already sent 2 letters on Thursday to Tai and Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo urging action. What is it saying? What they're saying. Today we write to bring your attention to the imbalanced Japanese video game market, which we are concerned may be a result of discriminatory trade practice that could violate the spirit of US-Japan digital trade agreements, states one of the letters signed by 4 Republicans of the House, including Carol Miller and Mike Carey. The Republicans' letter alleges that Sony PlayStation has 98% of the high-end console markets in Japan, signs deals designed to keep hit Japanese games from Xbox, and says such moves may violate Japanese antitrust laws. The Japanese government effective policy of non-prosecution when it comes to Sony appears to be a serious barrier to US exports, with real impacts for Microsoft and many US game developers and publishers that sell globally, but see their earnings in Japan depressed by the practices. The letter continues. The letter to Tai and Raimondo from 6 Democrat lawmakers from Washington states, where Microsoft is based, covers similar ground. Between the lines, Article 8 of the 2019 US-Japan Digital Agreement calls for the countries to enable non-discriminatory treatment for digital products, which would include games. it's less clear if this would pertain to game consoles. States of play. Sony has had a steep advantage over Xbox in Japan for decades, though the secrecy around gaming contracts obscures the underlying causes. Sony does occasionally secure major platform exclusives such as Square Enix Final Fantasy XVI, a Japanese-made game, expected to be big in Japan and globally audiences, and only slated for PlayStation, no Xbox. That's not true. I think that's already stated that it's a timed exclusive, but Japan's console market is also quite a two-horse race. Nintendo, excluded from the definition of high-end consoles, cited the policymakers crushes Sony and Microsoft. The big picture, the heat on Sony is unmistakably coinciding with the Japanese company's own pressure on antitrust regulators to block Microsoft's $6.9 billion bid to buy Activision Blizzard. Sony anti-competitive tactics deserve discussion, and we welcome further investigation to ensure a level playing field in the video games industry, Microsoft spokesman David Cuddy told Axios. While Microsoft isn't saying just how involved it was in orchestrating this push, its government affairs team has discussed these issues with members of Congress, Axios understands. Sony reps did not reply to a request for comment. In these letters, House members asked that the Sony issue be raised with the Japanese government and identify additional barriers to American companies in accessing the Japanese game market. At Thursday's Senate hearing, Trade Rep Tai promised Senator Cantwell to look into things. This one is new for me, she said. And here are the letters that were sent. Just going through them to anybody. Signed. And this one is also signed. Okay. Jubei. Kofi, I'd like your thoughts on this. What do you think?
He's gone.
All right. Nappy, what do you think?
This is my first time hearing about this, so interesting. I mean, yeah, we already know Sony does terrible practices. Hint, hint, me not be able to play Final Fantasy 16 day one. Gotta wait till December this year. Assholes. But
you're not getting it because your PC doesn't have the capability.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Don't play with me.
Just telling you what they said.
Sure.
The SSD is not powerful enough.
The SSDs, the NVMe.4s, the same ones that y'all use. I wish, but I guess I can understand. This kind of seems like a little jab back at Sony for like messing up Microsoft deals with Activision for so long, making them spend so much money on lawyers and court fees and stuff. So I think this is not. I'm not really sure because I understand that like Japan is Sony's home base, and Microsoft recently have started selling, like maybe a year or two ago, their Xboxes to Japan. I don't agree with the practice of one company paying money to prevent like another company from advertising or like giving them an edge. I do, in some ways, I still do agree that like consoles do deserve have their own exclusives, but at the same time, like don't pay for a company to say, hey, don't release this for this console for a certain amount of time. Release it on our console for 6 to 9 months, and then you could drop it on the other console. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I want my Final Fantasy 16. God damn it! You lucky that you make good controllers. You lucky.
Well, you made that controller basically.
I just changed out the shell, added mechanical buttons. Actually, my battery's coming in the mail soon. My battery's coming in the mail soon.
Yeah, so you replaced like 60% of the key parts in there. So you know.
Kofi, I would say about 30.
You back, Kofi? Oh, he must really be busy. All right, I'm gonna get my thoughts on this. Yeah, this is absolutely a jab back at Xbox at Sony for their practices. Well, more not even really necessarily their practices, just what they've been doing to stop this merger. Even though, isn't there also a bill meant to be going that they want to push through to stop mergers over $5 billion? Isn't that something like
Well,
not even Sony?
It's not on the
that
not on the
that
table at all.
that's
It's not a
just
thing.
two radical people within our
Yeah,
government.
it didn't
What's her
it didn't
name?
make it out of committee. Yeah, it's
I can't.
yeah,
Elizabeth Warren and Bernie
Elizabeth
Sanders.
Warren and
They're-
somebody else. Yeah,
Why am I
it
not
never made it
surprised
out
to
of
hear
committee,
Bernie
though.
Sanders' name on that?
Yeah, they're pretty radical in their beliefs. So it's only them two really championing it. It's not going to go anywhere.
I wouldn't. Again, I'm not surprised to hear Bernie Sanders' name on that. But yeah, this is definitely a clapback for that. But here's my thing. Not Sony, sorry. The thing is like we don't. The thing that's kind of giving me pause to kind of look at this and be like, okay, maybe there's some validity or not to this is, and that's why I wanted Kofi's opinion, is what's Xbox, because Xboxes are being sold in major retailers at in Japan. Like, we know that. Kofi has mentioned that. But I don't know what Xbox's advertisement is like in Japan. I don't know, like, are there games being sorry, are there games being advertised on are there games being advertised on like Japanese media, TV, on YouTube Japan? Like, what's their advertising look like? If it's non-existent, then I'd like to know why that is. But if they're being advertised and they're still not selling, then maybe just the Japanese market and the Japanese people have spoken. They don't really care about Xbox.
It's a little deeper than that.
But that's my point. That's why I need to hear from somebody on the ground in Japan. Like, what is the presence? What is the common consensus about Microsoft over in Japan? Like, what's their advertising like? Like, do you hear people talking about them? What do they talk about? Like I need to know what the ground floor says about Microsoft, because that kind of gives an idea of like, okay, so if there's nothing being said, then why is there nothing being said? Is it because there's being information suppressed, or is that because people just don't care about Microsoft? Like that's why I can't really form a full opinion on this, is because I basically don't fucking live in Japan. Like, I know what Sony has been doing, like, as far as like locking down Japanese exclusives, because again, that's their countrymen. Because it seems like the exclusives that they lock down are with companies that are based in Japan predominantly. And I know they've tried to bust this they tried to bust this merger, but like I know about that stuff because that's in my wheelhouse, because that's in a country I live in as well, because like that shit affects us here in the UK. Probably not so much in Japan. So because I don't live in Japan, I don't really have a net feeling of how Microsoft is viewed in Japan, because again, and he even says in this, like, Microsoft hasn't sold in Japan since the Xbox came out, like the first Xbox. Like, it's never sold well in Japan, like, ever. Even so, like, so if this is Sony's meddling, saying, okay, here's some yen, kill advertisement on TV for Xbox products, like, how much, if that's what they're implying with these letters, like, how much have they spent trying to suppress Xbox out of Japan? And that is some conspiracy level shit right there.
Well, it's not conspiracy anymore because they have all the documents from Sony now.
Based off the court case?
Yeah, they subpoenaed them for every document since 2018. So they have every single agreement Sony has ever signed for video
2018.
game.
2018. This letter specifically states for decades.
Well, they weren't allowed to get anything more than that. They requested more than that. But I'm saying, but they have enough information to submit to prove their point, though. That's the whole point. Like, they may not have decades of information, but they have enough to establish a baseline.
It'd be nice, but the problem is none of those documents are viewable to us, so we can't turn around and say that they have been suppressing Microsoft in Japan. Like, again, I'm not. The whole reason I don't have a consensus on this is because, again, I haven't seen these documents and I don't live in Japan, so I don't know what. Because for all we fucking know, Kofi could come back any moment and turn around and say, no, people in Japan really don't trust Microsoft. Like, they've seen the practices of Microsoft in the past eating up a bunch of fucking companies, and they just don't fucking trust them. They're very much Japan-centric. They're very much centralized on supporting Japanese companies. Like, if Kofi came back and said that, then like that's coming from someone who knows really the pulse of what's going on in Japan right now, because he's got people over there. But
yeah,
which is why I wish he was fucking here so we could talk.
It's more about what they're claiming Sony is actually doing, not what Microsoft is failing to do.
But that's the thing. Like, what they're claiming is very fucking vague in these letters. Like, there is vagueness in these letters that is just... It's vague. I'll just say that. Like, they're saying... they're saying that... Like, they're basically saying nothing. They're just saying, we believe that Sony is acting in bad faith to fuck over Xbox in Japan, but we really don't have any specifics. It's like, okay.
Well, they highlighted exclusive agreements.
Yeah, exclusive agreement. Yeah, that was the main thing. Like, just exclusive agreements with Japanese studios.
Yes.
Okay. That's my okay. So I know this goes way more into like deals that I know nothing about, and I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of people here know anything about the US-Japan digital fucking agreement, or whatever it was called. I don't think anybody here is an expert on that or knows the nitty-gritty of that. I'm sure someone's doing research right now. But like that, if that's the crux of their argument, doesn't that kind of affect the world instead of just America as well? Because like, these are two worldwide companies. Like, just because they're based there doesn't mean they're not worldwide.
I mean, is it my turn to go?
No, you can go now. You can go. I just wanted to get my people.
I don't know if this is necessarily Xbox being retaliatory. I mean, you just got to look over the past couple years, and with the Epic lawsuit, and now with this Activision Blizzard merger, the governments across the world have had to focus more in on what the gaming industry is and how it works, and kind of what goes into that. And with Sony making its complaints, and them having to actually vet their complaints to see if they're legitimate, I think it just brought more scrutiny onto the gaming industry. And then what really put Sony in this situation, in my opinion, is when European regulators designated that Nintendo doesn't count, and then they separated Xbox and Microsoft into this unique category of the high-end console market, which I don't think makes sense. But then I just think they made it, once they did that, they made it about a Sony Xbox thing. But there are certain things that we have learned over the course of these few years of these legal battles. We've learned that Sony charges Epic for lost sales for when you play on a platform other than the PlayStation for Fortnite.
Square Enix for Outriders as well.
Yeah, so we've learned. So if they do it if they're doing it to the biggest one, they're doing it to the smaller ones. So they're charging publishers for lost sales, which you could probably say is highly anti-competitive. We know based on the Resident Evil contract that leaked that they pay for games to not go on Game Pass. And we know that Microsoft has claimed that Sony actively pays Japanese companies not to port games over to Xbox, even if they don't have exclusivity agreements with them. So we know what has been claimed, and we kind of know what we've seen through some leaks of legal documents. So I do think these acquisitions that have been taking place with Sony purchasing Bungie and Microsoft purchasing Bethesda and now ABK has just brought natural scrutiny from regulators, and I think that's a big part of it. And I think Sony is going to feel the pain of that in their own country pretty soon, with their government cracking down on how they do business in some way, shape, or form.
I'm not all that convinced there's going to be crackdown, because if there wasn't any crackdown from
they're gonna have to, because it's a trade, like it's a trade agreement encompassing all trade. So if you're telling me that this trade agreement isn't going to go through because you're protecting one company, that's not. They're gonna.
Yeah, but doesn't that hold on? But wouldn't that work both ways? Japan could just turn around and say, "Well, you're protecting Microsoft by allowing this merger, which is gonna hurt." The argument could work both ways.
Microsoft doesn't have a large enough market share in the gaming industry for that argument to stand.
Yet.
Yeah, it doesn't have it yet. So that's what I'm saying. That it would take a while for them to gain that much market share. It wouldn't just happen as a result of the closing of the ABK deal.
We'll have to see about that. But yeah. Well, but again, one of the arguments that does work against them on that is the fact that Nintendo is pretty much outselling both of them in Japan.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They kind of shot themselves in the foot when they created this high-end console market that excludes Nintendo.
Yeah,
so
which is
they made it.
Nintendo Tabby's like, they're like, yeah, we're a little kid. We don't want to fight. We just.
Well, the best thing about it for Nintendo is Nintendo gets to sit back and says, "This means we can just do whatever we want." Y'all are just worried about those two.
No, they've already no. If anything, more scrutiny needs to be put on Nintendo because they've been able to get away with whatever they want for so long.
Yeah, everything they scan little kids all day. So yeah, they need to and their parents. So yeah, they definitely need more scrutiny.
We agree. There needs to be more scrutiny on Nintendo.
And they send their lawyers after you if you do any type of creative work.
Yeah,
that has any type of Nintendo properties in it. Yeah,
go
after Nintendo. They're the evil ones.
Yeah,
draw Mario on the live stream and see what happens.
That is the ultimate Jedi mind trick. What Nintendo has done these past 5 years.
Godzilla ain't got shit on Nintendo.
Well, actually, I think Mario might become a public figure where it might be legal again, because I know Disney's facing the problem right now with Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is about to be hit a certain point where you can actually draw him now.
Public domain.
He's jumping. I think Mario might be jumping into public. Well, naturally no, because it's a video game. Who knows?
When does Mickey Mouse become public domain? When?
I'm gonna say because Mario falls under a video game, so I don't know.
Next year, Mickey Mouse falls under public domain next year.
Ooh,
what is the basis of that? Is it based on like a saturation rate, or is it just based on a character existing?
No, time. It's a time thing.
It's a time.
Companies.
So it's time based.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have had they've had like 3 fucking extensions on this fucking on Mickey Mouse's copyright.
To be a saturation point.
No.
They've
hit it. Yeah. No. Okay. So here's the thing. They have the copyright. I think should have run out years ago, but the power of fucking Disney has gotten them, I believe, 3 fucking extensions to the copyright. I think it was 2000. I think it was 2021. He should have become public domain, but they fought to keep him. But they basically run out of extensions, and yeah, he will become public domain in 2024, unless Disney somehow pull a fucking rabbit out their ass. Also, Mario most likely will become public domain. But
2082, Jesus.
I got a different one. I got 2076.
Yeah, so we'll be. Unfortunately, I don't think we will be here to see
Mario
come public.
Listen. I will will myself to live that fucking long, just so I can have Mario etched onto my fucking gravestone, and Nintendo can't do shit about it.
It was 2076. Nintendo paid somebody to make it to 2082. Jesus.
Yep.
Nintendo, you must got some money.
It's different copyright laws, like, because it falls under Japanese copyright law, not American copyright law.
Yeah. Somebody look into Nintendo, because Nintendo was able to extend their copyright laws in Japan.
Here is the reason why. Now, okay, so I think with I think there is a different precedent, because Mickey Mouse is specifically a Disney property. Okay, I'm about to make a really... I might be making a straw man here, so get your torches out to burn this son of a bitch down.
You also got to remember how long Mickey Mouse has been around. It's been around since, like, what, the 40s or 30s?
20s. 1926.
Okay, so yeah, that's about the same amount of
28.
time. 2080, whatever.
1928, yeah.
Okay, yeah, 1928.
Steamboat Willie was 28.
Yep. So, yeah, so it's about 80 years, and Mario's only been around since, like, what, I want to say the late 70s?
That was the 80s.
No,
It's been
because
around for damn near. It'll be 95 years next year.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, because I think because Mario's first appearance is canonically Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Or was it Mario Bros? Can't remember.
Yeah,
1983.
Plumber
1983.
Man.
There you go. 1983 was his first appearance when he was first copyrighted. But no, I think with Mario. Okay, so with Disney, when you think of again, I'm building a straw man. Get your torches out. But with Disney and Mickey, when you think Mickey, you think specifically Disney, like Disney as a brand. And that's all they got a tight grip on him. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody but Disney is allowed to fuck with him. And if you do fuck with Mickey, there's got to be concessions. Like the only time a concession was ever fucking made in regards to Mickey was the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And he was in it for like a grand total of 1 minute. With Mario, he's basically seen on the same level in Japan as like Godzilla. Like he is a national figure. Do you know what I mean? Like when you think of Mickey, you don't think of like an American national figure because he's so gripped tight by Disney. But when you do think of Mario, you kind of do think Nintendo Japan. Like, because he is a national figure over there. Do you know what I mean? So...
Nintendo has enslaved the Italian plumber.
Yeah, they've enslaved Italian plumbers for the last time! So, I kind of think, like, they're... so, again, conspiracy theorist in me is saying this. I feel like the Japanese government maybe gave Nintendo the pass on extending that so that he remains a Japanese icon. Do you know what I mean? In the same,
maybe.
Maybe in the same way as Godzilla, because, like, fucking hell, when does Godzilla enter public domain?
Godzilla.
Jubei didn't get a chance to get his,
1949. 1949. This motherfucker been around since the 60s.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
Jubei didn't get the
2049.
answer.
Pardon?
We didn't get let Jubei talk.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, we just kind of got onto the copyright law in Japan and stuff like that. My apologies. But no, go ahead, Jubei. What do you think? Not about the copyrights, about Sony being looked into.
I mean, I get it. I mean, they're getting looked at, and a lot of people are raising the flag because just like a lot of the people looking at them are also from the state of Washington, where guess who's based out of?
Oh,
Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, but again, as a political figure, your job is to your constituents on a level, and technically that counts. As far as them looking into Sony, like I said, the only reason it's even a thing is because there's a new trade agreement that needs to be agreed upon, and this just happens to now be able to be tossed on the plate as well. I'm pretty sure there was some palm greasing involved from the Windows mogul, but I mean, like they're just exercising all their avenues. Like, if it was me, I'd be petty too. I'm like, bro, y'all gave us this headache over this deal. Y'all can deal with a headache now.
I don't know
like...
what Jubei. Jubei, what are you saying? You are petty.
Yeah, I mean, but like,
I think.
Go ahead.
I would say I think the only reason that Microsoft would do that, it wouldn't be to be petty. It's because they want a Japanese publisher.
That too. But I mean,
that's the only reason they would do it.
I mean, still, you got to think them suits have been frustrated with this whole process. Like, bruh, if y'all don't stop trying to get us looked at, like, what is wrong with y'all?
Plus, you got to think Microsoft Pocket. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Microsoft Pocket's good.
Yeah, I would say Microsoft Pockets are much, much deeper than Sony's. Much deeper.
Man.
So they can outlast them in like lawsuits.
But Japanese labor is much, much cheaper.
They barely spent any money on this acquisition. They as far as the lawyer fees go, they just spent like interest on lawyer fees.
Yeah. My biggest thing is it's just how convenient. Like I'm just tired of everything to do with regulation right now.
I am sick of talking about this.
I'm tired of seeing it in the news cycle. Like, I just want this. Like, a major hurdle was overcome so far. Like, there's still the cloud gaming fucking concessions and shit.
God damn it, Dead Man, fuck you. Imagine fucking with Nintendo and then having Mario kick down your door and kick your ass. God damn it.
No, the Nintendo suits would probably do that, though.
They come in dressed as Mario and Luigi just to fuck you up. Sorry, I couldn't. I had to draw attention to that.
I don't think it's going anywhere because I do think that I do think Microsoft still wants to purchase more, and I do think that Sony is going to make some strategic purchases. You know, they're not going to buy big publishers, I don't think, but I still think I don't think the buying spree is over yet.
It's not.
Even
I mean, a Japanese publisher is getting bought mad soon. By who? I don't know.
I won't say mad soon. I'll say next 18 to 20 months. I won't say like mad soon as in like we'll see something next like this winter or something.
I mean, we could hear an announcement about it.
I don't think we will.
Yeah.
But I don't think Sony has the budget to purchase a publisher based on what I think. I think Sony gave PlayStation like a $3 billion budget or something like that. It's somewhere between $3 and $5 billion.
They should actually purchase Ubisoft.
Fuck that.
Ubisoft's too expensive.
How?
I think
They need to, if anything, they need to buy Square Enix, and I say that only because then we can finally have people shut the fuck up about them holding out on Xbox. But then I can start complaining about them holding out on fucking PC. So then the shoe will be on the other foot.
No, I want my Final Fantasy 16. I'm sorry, go on.
Square would cost about, I think, around $8 to $9 billion. So I don't think they could purchase based on what, unless unless Sony's CEO gives PlayStation more money for acquisition, it wouldn't happen.
Well,
They gotta give them
considering,
more
you
money.
know, fucking PlayStation is Sony's biggest moneymaker.
As of right now, they only have, as of the last earnings statement, they only have like $3 to $5 billion for acquisition purchases.
Yeah,
I don't know the exact number.
they'd have to move some stuff around and forego
What?
development costs. Like try to front.
I'm about to
front
say
that.
Ubisoft is only worth 4.5 billion. They can.
You're
I
not
But you
gonna
don't buy it
pay.
for what it's
You're not.
worth.
You don't pay market price, bro.
You got to pay above market price.
I mean, they can give them a little extra 2 billion. Just saying.
Because you got like what Microsoft bought Activision like $30
And
per
if,
share over.
and if we're going that way, then I mean, if we're going above market price and we throw an extra 2 billion, Square Enix is only worth 4 billion at that point.
Wait, Ubisoft is more expensive than Square Enix?
Yeah, Square Enix net
Oh,
worth
shit.
is only 2 billion.
Yeah, it's like
It's only 2
2.2
billion.
or 2.8. It's like somewhere between 2.2 and 2.8.
The net worth is above 2 billion as of March 2023. So it's below 3 billion, but above 2 billion. So I will be generous and give them 2.5 billion. So that's 4.5 billion if you go above market price. So yes, no, Ubisoft is worth more because again, with Ubisoft, you kind of got to look at one, they sell a hell of a lot more fucking games than Square Enix. In some regards, they pump out more games than Square Enix. They have more developers underneath Square Enix, and they have had a lot of Nintendo tie-ins as well. So like that shit.
Well, Bungie didn't Bungie go for like 7 billion?
Hold on.
I don't.
No,
I
Bungie
can't be
went
Square.
for. I thought Bungie went for like 2 or 3.
What, for 3 billion?
Which would line in because Bungie was only worth 2 billion at the time. Bungie sale to Sony, how much did they pay? Yeah, Sony only paid 3.6 billion while they were worth a net worth of only 2 billion. So yeah, buying Square Enix is, if you're saying that, what was their price that you gave them?
Somewhere it's between 3 and 5.
That's what
number.
Sony's got. They could absolutely buy Square Enix then.
They could buy Ubisoft if they wanted to, or Square Enix, or yeah.
Like they could absolutely, because they only paid, again, going above market price, as you said, they only paid 1.6 they only paid 1.6 above their net worth to buy Bungie, because that's the net worth of Bungie in 2022 when they bought them.
Yeah, but the other party also has to agree to be bought.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. But if we're talking
you gotta think,
numbers,
if Square says, "Hey, we feel we're worth 8, so if you ain't gonna come with 8, we don't want to hear it."
Yeah, but at that point, Sony, no one's gonna pay 8 billion. Like not even
actually. Microsoft,
Metro UK.
I'm about to say Square Enix is on the NFT train, so they might go down in value even more.
Yep, they really on that NFT train. They riding that dick harder than most porn stars.
This article is as of March 7th. They said that Square, as of the last earnings statement, has 5 billion. And they said that it rules out Take-Two and Square because Take-Two's market cap is 15 billion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I never bought up Take-Two. But
and what is it? They said Square Enix market cap, you had to pay over the market cap, is 4.7 billion.
Which falls into
that would. So their market cap is 4.7. So Sony would realistically have to pay damn near 6. So yeah, that's out.
Because it's a publicly traded company, you have to pay over the market cap.
Yeah.
See, because I was looking at what's this article that gave their net worth 2 billion.
Their net worth might be that, but their market cap may be different. And because they're publicly traded, you got to go by the market cap.
Market cap. Yeah, they have gone up in like the last one of these. They've gone up a point in literally the last couple of hours as well.
Say Sony better sell some Michael Jackson Undiscovered Music, Bolton Music or something.
Don't they also own
Their
Princess?
money up. Well, yeah, they have some partial rights to Prince and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson and Prince are actually really smart with their music, but because they passed, their kids weren't that smart with their stuff.
As of right now, on companiesmarketcap.com, Square Enix market cap is 5.84 billion USD.
I'm looking. Oh wait, I'm looking at MSN Money. Square Enix Holdings Co. is 47.99. AMC's going up. Microsoft is down. Tesla is up. GameStop is down 4.09. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Yahoo.
All right, no, okay. Jesus Christ, okay. Now we're really getting into the boring shit of just like literally looking at fucking stock.
Yeah, market caps and shit.
God damn. Oh shit. Oh, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Though this shit really is fascinating because you got to kind of take all of this into consideration when you're talking about who can buy who. I'm surprised to see Microsoft down. Like Microsoft's down a whole.
Well, it's all about choices. Anybody can buy anybody they want. I mean, both companies are big enough, but it's just,
Do they agree?
Fucking Tesco is up.
So, Sony needs the big boss. They need their version of Satya to give them the green light.
No.
I don't know who that person is.
Well, how about we get to our outros? Jubei, give us your outro.
Hey, GameStop posted their first profit in like 10 years.
Oh my god.
Hey, that's not garbage, and they deserve nothing. They deserve absolutely nothing. They deserve to be penniless.
Yeah,
they're gonna because they turned their first profit in like a decade, they're gonna run special, give you like a 5% boost on turning in using.
They're gonna give you an extra 68 cents on top of the $7.95 they're giving you for all your games.
Damn it, you fucker! You beat me to it, but you went really technical with your joke and kind of dumped on me. Damn you.
Yo, I worked for them. I know better. Fuck GameStop, bro.
5%,
yeah.
5% boost.
Jubei.
Okay.
Outro.
Yeah, you can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms. Jubei Sensei everywhere else, including Twitter. Your boy got his old Twitter back.
He's so happy about that.
He was. He sent me a DM about that, and I was like, Jubei, I'm trying to sleep.
He's so happy. He's gonna celebrate Ramadan. He's gonna fast.
I'm ready to fast, bro. I'm totally ready. But nah, like it's just nice to
be yourself again.
Get out of that life sentence. And have my old account back.
Do we need to say 5 hail Elon Musk's every day now because you got out of Twitter's jail?
Oh, facts. Facts. All praise to our Twitter overlord. Just kidding. I will be probably playing some Resident Evil 4 this week, and also getting into Chia, if that's how you say that on PlayStation. So, yeah, I'll be checking that out this week. I need to turn my Steam Deck on and do some stuff.
Yeah.
And I'll catch y'all next week.
All right, cool. Pharaoh, who was your outro?
Hey, it's your boy Pharaoh. You can find me on Twitter at Pharaoh Bizarre and anywhere you enjoy streamers at The Land of Pharaoh.
All right, Nappy.
This your boy Nappy. If you guys want to find me, you can go type up on that YouTube search bar, Nappy Sensei. I do controller reviews, and I'm currently going to have to review this controller for PC and for Xbox while I'm waiting for some other stuff to come in. But also, you can find me on Twitter as well with Nappy Sensei. It's only like $40, man. Come on now, cut it a break.
Okay.
It's not like my pro controllers that I've been reviewing. And sometimes you got to think about the lower budget controllers.
Me then, yeah. You got to think of me.
So yes, I'm going to have to do an unboxing and basically the big old rundown of what I do with all my other controllers. This one shouldn't take too long because it does have some interesting features, which I'll probably tell in the YouTube video. But yes, I will be definitely playing Resident Evil 4, continue Far Cry 6. I'm gonna revisit Far Cry 5 because I noticed that everybody's now revisiting Far Cry 5 because of the HD remaster, and now they appreciate the story all of a sudden. So, and also going to look into Fortnite because Fortnite is now going to compete with Roblox. They're going to start adding Unreal Engine 5, watered down version of that to Fortnite to make custom games, which is going to be interesting.
I heard Fortnite
That
was
is
getting a
interesting.
new creative mode.
Yeah, so they're going to be competing. Now they're trying to be like the next Roblox. So I'm going to look into
So Roblox has like a collection of smaller apps inside of it, and that's what Fortnite's gonna do.
It looks like it that they're trying to compete with. So we'll see.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Alright. You can find me at Dante Crisis on Instagram, Twitter, the Dante Crisis on Facebook. You can also find me at Dante Crisis on YouTube, where I'm currently doing a Let's Play of South Park: The Fractured But Whole, which is an amazing game, as well as the best Call of Duty ever fucking made, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Don't at me. You are just incorrect if you disagree. With a playthrough of Metal Slug 7 or Metal Slug XX and Resident Evil 4 coming up, and there's another playthrough. I don't think there was another playthrough. I think that's what's going on right now. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Still trying to sort out some the final touches on my internet bullshit. So hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I'll actually be able to start streaming my normal playthroughs on my streams. Hopefully, but currently it's basically Call of Duty, Sea of Thieves, Phasmophobia, GTFO, which I'll hopefully be able to get Kofi and Nappy on at some point for. Red Dead Redemption Online, Payday 2. Yeah, and if you want to check out more of my content, you can pledge to my Patreon to get exclusive weekend streams as well, where you'll see me playing brand new games like Resident Evil 4 on the weekends and many more. Right now, there is currently a Deadpool going on about which member of the VGP is going to be the first to pledge to my Patreon. That's actually a legit thing right now, and I'm not joking. Alright, but despite all of that, at the end of the day, we all go our separate ways. Pharaoh with his Madden, Jube with his bullshit, and Nappy trying to fix Pro controllers and not trying to have them blow up in his face.
Hey, that 3,000 amp battery is going to go in here. This thing is going to be a powerhouse.
But when we come together, it's nothing but magic. And again, you could be literally doing anything else, but you decided to watch us. You decided to listen to us. But remember, there are other places that you can watch us, such as Spotify, Google Play Store, Apple iTunes, most likely on your wife's mobile phone as well. There are a multitude of places you can check us, where any podcast finds its place to rest its head. So yes, once again, thank you so much for watching. For everybody on the VGP, remember to keep it gaming. Okay, we out of here. Peace.
Hey.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
Rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beasts, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G.